Welcome back to the deep dive. We are here to take your source materials, stack them up, and deliver the crystal clear insight you need, without all the fluff.
Exactly.
Today, we're doing a pretty fascinating deep dive into a very targeted set of sources. It's the detailed pitch for a financial education service called the Manifesting Millions Academy.
And this one is associated with the brand Rashida.ai.
Yes, and it has let's say, a highly ambitious proposition. The documentation we have promises not just tips, but a total wealth transformation.
Right.
So our mission today is to really thoroughly unpack the claims, the specific target audience they're chasing, and of course, the specialized investment focus they advertise.
Okay, let's unpack this.
This source material, it positions itself immediately with a really powerful branded methodology, PTP, or pennies to profits.
It's a very catchy hook, suggesting small beginnings can lead to, well, monumental results.
Absolutely.
And that framing, it's the entire engine of the pitch. It's aimed directly at the aspirational learner. We're looking at a fully branded educational product here.
One that uses specific financial language, but also weaves in terms like manifesting.
That dual approach is key. It's absolutely central to understanding their strategy. We need to look critically at the specific institutional credentials they claim, and then analyze how they translate that pedigree into an accessible program for a more modern audience.
Definitely. Okay, let's jump straight into the core proposition and what they claim about the expert's history. The Manifesting Millions Academy doesn't really whisper its goals, it shouts them. The stated purpose is achieving financial freedom by helping you build a 67-figure portfolio.
And they literally say the goal is to guide you from I have a little to I own a lot.
So that 67-figure range is critical for context, isn't it?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it means anything from $100,000 up to $10 million. That is a massive span.
Right.
So when a service promises to turn pennies into a 67-figure empire, you have to understand the implied scope of that.
Getting to 100 grand is hard enough.
It's challenging. But reaching 7 figures requires not just skill, but, substantial capital, discipline, time, and potentially significant market risk.
So the pitch uses that high end, the 7 figures, to really drive interest.
Of course, even though the path there is tremendously long and, well, complex.
And that focus on the big outcome, it leads directly to the claimed authority of the founder, Rashida.ai.
Yes, the source identifies the founder as a fintech education expert and a digital wealth strategist expert. So it's suggesting a synthesis of traditional finance and modern asset classes.
And this is what I found fascinating, how the pitch tries to establish maximum credibility. It doesn't just mention, general banking experience.
Oh, no, it's very specific. The documentation claims the founder built their financial foundation in the trenches of major institutions, specifically Citi, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America.
And then there's that number.
Exactly. The source states they managed and approved a minimum of $44 billion plus Barry.
Billion. With a B.
With a B. To put that figure into context for you, that $34 billion is roughly the annual GDP of a medium-sized European country. It's a staggering amount of capital to be associated with.
So that level of specific detail is crucial.
It is. It acts as the, let's say, institutional ballast for the academy. It positions the founder as someone with serious, verifiable Wall Street experience before they pivoted to accessible financial education.
It effectively bridges that gap then between the high-flying world of institutional finance and the individual retail investor they're now targeting.
That institutional proof point is meant to lend gravitas to their modern, aggressive branding.
It creates a foundational narrative.
It does. I learned how the big banks operate, and now I'm teaching you how to use those secrets to build your own wealth. That authority is the necessary prerequisite before they can explain how they'll teach you.
Which leads us dutifully to the target demographic and the stated teaching methodology. If the $44 billion claim establishes who they are, this next section establishes who they're trying to reach.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
The documentation explicitly targets driven millennials and Gen Z. This feels like a very intentional focus on generational wealth building.
Completely.
The source says the mission is to help this group get the skills, mindset, and trading confidence they need. So it acknowledges that the modern learner often starts with less capital, but has, high aspirations for rapid results.
That's absolutely right. And the methodology detailed in the pitch is it's tailor-made for this digital native audience. The source promises no FLUFF, no jargon.
Which is a direct appeal to that common frustration, isn't it? Navigating complex, stuffy financial textbooks or, old school investment firms.
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
Millennials and Gen Z value transparency and efficiency above pretty much all
So
else.
what else does it promise?
It promises strategies with step-by-step clarity and something they call bite-sized power plays.
Bite-sized power play.
Yeah. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it suggests the material is optimized for rapid, actionable knowledge. It fits a mobile, screen-centric learning preference
They want to give you something you can consume quickly.
and potentially apply in the same day.
Yeah, it makes these dense subjects seem consumable, which is a powerful pedagogical tool. But here's where the tension really surfaces for me.
Go on.
How can a program promise those rapid, bite-sized power plays while also setting the goal of achieving market ownership? That ownership claim is, well, it's aggressive. The pitch says, we show you how to own them.
That phrase is the defining characteristic of their stated philosophy. You're right. Standard finance courses, they teach you how to participate in markets.
Right.
The Manifesting Millions Academy promises ownership. This implies a more aggressive stance, one focused on long-term asset accumulation, aiming for large, impactful positions, not just small-scale trading.
It implies empowerment and control.
It does.
Yeah.
But it also raises a structural question.
Mm.
What is the PTP methodology, that pennies to profits, what does that actually entail in practice?
Well, the documentation suggests PTP is the key to that ownership, right?
Yes. But while the source doesn't give us the step-by-step recipe, the term implies a focus on compounding and maximizing returns on small initial investments.
Okay, so a structured, systematic approach.
It has to be a way to gradually increase position size and portfolio value over time. If they're truly teaching value investing, a point that comes up later, then PTT must be the framework they use to apply that discipline effectively to smaller budgets. It's about being systematic, regardless of your starting capital.
That structural clarity brings us perfectly into the specialized investment pillars. It's clear they aren't just focusing on one small corner of finance. This is a comprehensive wealth education claim.
Very broad.
The source lists 3 primary investment areas, the sort of core pillars of modern wealth creation: real estate, the stock market, and digital assets.
Specifically naming Bitcoin and Ethereum in the Academy's title.
Exactly,
Yeah.
which signals a commitment to diversification, right? Covering tangible assets, traditional equities, and the new digital economy.
And the synergy between those 3 is so important. They represent 3 different correlation categories. Real estate is typically illiquid and less correlated with the stock market.
It's a classic hedge.
Stocks are the engine of corporate America, and then you have digital assets.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin and Ethereum are chosen because they are the largest, most recognized, and most liquid crypto assets. They appeal directly to the young investor who recognizes those brand names instantly.
And the curriculum isn't just a basic overview either. The source details specific analytical specialties they offer, which suggests some deep dive material.
Like what?
They list evaluating investment assets accurately, understanding the digital asset markets, and investments in real estate.
Okay, so beyond just the asset classes themselves, notice the focus on planning and structure. The specialties include investment goal setting and educational investing plans.
So that counters any idea that the course is just about finding a quick trade.
Right. It claims to provide a foundational blueprint, which is crucial if they truly aim to teach the rigorous methodology of value investing.
That's a powerful internal check against the more aggressive Manifesting Millions branding, their advertising discipline alongside aspiration.
They are.
And, of course, no pitch is complete without an immediate call to action. The source actively promotes engagement by saying, grab your guide, and offering a substantial limited time incentive.
The $1,000 off.
The $1,000 off F, yeah.
That combination of a high-value structural education claim and that promotional urgency, well, it defines the marketing strategy. It's designed to push the target audience who may be paralyzed by information overload into immediate action.
By leveraging both savings and scarcity.
Exactly.
Right. Now let's pivot to the final major piece of the material, the social proof and the necessary disclaimers. Because in this sector, what past users say and what the legal framework mandates, they are equally vital context points for you, the learner.
Absolutely vital.
We have 3 specific testimonials provided in the source material, and they're kind of designed to cover the full experience. Sarah K. focuses on achieving financial goals, so results. John D. praises the dedication and quality of the financial education itself.
And Jane S. rounds it out by highlighting the personalized services, knowledge, and passion of the team.
So the picture they're painting is one of results, high-quality content, and attentive staff.
Yeah, which aims to assuage any fears that the program is just a set of generic, pre-recorded videos. It sets a high expectation for support.
But then we shift to the essential administrative elements at the bottom, which provide that crucial legal context.
This is where we get the reality check. We see a long copyright date range, 2020 through 2028, suggesting a serious long-term business plan, not some short-lived venture.
And then we have the mandatory legal framework.
The privacy policy, terms and conditions, and most importantly, the earnings disclaimer.
Why is the earnings disclaimer so important for you, the learner, to focus on here?
It's the critical legal separation between ambition and guarantee. And this raises an important question.
Which is?
While the testimonials are enthusiastic and the claims of the $44 billion background are persuasive, the earnings disclaimer signals the necessary legal reality that results are not guaranteed. And that investment involves risk.
So it legally shifts the responsibility.
It shifts the responsibility for ultimate success or failure onto you, the learner. It ensures that the academy can't be held liable if you do not achieve that 67-figure portfolio.
Which is a standard feature of financial education, but it's the ultimate context to temper any high expectations set by a phrase like manifesting millions.
Or precisely. That legal balance is truly essential for assessing the whole pitch. You have the lofty promises and social proof on one side.
And the necessary legal protection and dose of reality on the other. It's the full life cycle of a financial service pitch, really, designed to attract an ambitious yet hopefully discerning audience. So what does this all mean? This deep dive shows us an academy aggressively marketing its financial education services to millennials and Gen Z.
Right, and they're backing its claims with a founder who allegedly managed over $44 billion.
And they're offering a broad, structured approach across 3 major asset classes: real estate, stocks, and digital assets.
And the core value proposition is clear. High-level institutional knowledge packaged in a non-jargon, step-by-step format, those bite-sized power plays, with the ultimate goal of market ownership via their proprietary PTP method.
It's a compelling blend, a mix of institutional credibility and modern digital accessibility.
It is.
But let's return to that core tension we observe throughout the source material. The Academy promises to teach you to master value investing, yet its branding uses the term manifesting millions.
A huge tension there.
For those unfamiliar, value investing, popularized by figures like Warren Buffett, is a disciplined, rigorous, long-term strategy focused on fundamental analysis buying assets for less than their intrinsic worth. It is the opposite of a quick win.
And that's our final thought for you to consider. How does this academy reconcile the philosophical and strategic chasm between the classic disciplined approach of value investing and the modern aspirational concept of manifesting, which often implies attracting wealth through mindset and positive thought?
Right. It's a fundamental conflict.
The question for the targeted millennial and Gen Z learner is, which mindset does the course ultimately emphasize? Is it the patient rigor necessary for value investing? Or is it the ambitious, rapid financial transformation implied by the term manifesting? The answer to that tension really determines the long-term application of the knowledge they offer.
A truly provocative point to end on. We hope you feel thoroughly informed and ready to think critically about the claims and methodology of the Manifesting Millions Academy. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time.